Our mission is to help you learn the English language. We have created easy-to-follow, free educational materials for those seeking knowledge of English.
We've been discussing the project for 2 hours. Let's take a break.
Sounds good. I want to go get some coffee.
You look really wiped out?
I had meetings back-to-back all morning. And phone rang off the hook from the minute I walked into the office.
Not a good day. I hate to tell you that Mr. Thomas wants to see the profit statement for new project tomorrow morning.
I can't believe it. I guess I'll be here until 10 again tonight.
What's your expected salary?
I expect to be paid according to my abilities.
How do you feel about an annual salary of 100,000 yuan plus bonus?
That's a little less than I expected. But to me, the most important thing is the job and the people I will work with. Moreover, I am sure I will get a raise quickly depending on my background and experience.
That sounds very reasonable.
By the way, how long is my probation?
Generally it is 6 months, and during this period you are half paid. We look forward to your early reply and trust that through our mutual cooperation we shall be able to conclude this transaction with you in the near future.
Thank you for your consideration. We will inform you of our intention as soon as possible.
I hope you'll see that we are really doing our utmost. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to I Am Technology. I'm very pleased so many of you could make it here today. My name's Sam Weiss. I'm the production manager. I'd like to show you the layout of the factory before we go and visit it. As you can see from this diagram, everything is under one roof. We've designed it this way to help the flow of materials and to avoid bottlenecks.
This area here is where we keep our raw materials. The main production area, our machine hall, is situated next to it. Maintenance is situated between the stores and the production area. Just to the right of maintenance, there are steps up to the lab and the admin section. Process control is also on the upper level. It's located above the factory floor so that the operators can monitor everything that is going on below.
What's the deal with the Asia area sales? Did you have a chance to look at any other reports that came in from the branch offices?
We got numbers back from our offices in Beijing, Hong Kong, Taipei, Singapore and Tokyo. We're waiting on Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur.
What do the preliminary figures tell you? Any kinds of trends going on for the branches in the Far East?
It's hard to say, because the branches are located in different countries. Cultural and social influences will definitely play a part in the success of the product in the various markets.
For example?
For instance, some products that do very well in Tokyo branch are a flop in Malaysia. We're talking about different people with different lifestyles and different needs. Each of the branches takes these types of things into consideration when they compile their reports and their marketing plans.
I was wondering if you could go over the services available at ED to help me get a job.
The best opportunity is called Callus, which is an internet-based job placement service that you can make use of.
Do I have to have a computer at home?
There are computers at our ED offices for you to use in your job search.
Do you have any other services available?
We have information available about the job market as well as workshops.
What kinds of workshops are available at the ED?
We have workshops in resume writing and interviewing, to name a few.
Are there other places, outside of ED, that I may look for work?
College job placement services can help.
Is your website address www.jillian.com? CN.
Not exactly. Our address is www.jillianjiaopin.com. CN.
I am sorry. Could you repeat it, please?
Of course. The website is www.jillianjiaopin.com. CN.
Well, thank you, Mr. Perry, for all your information. Just one more question.
Yes, sir?
Do you play any sports or games?
I used to play football regularly when I was at university. And I used to do athletics in the summer.
And what athletics did you play? Can you remember?
I was a runner, a long-distance runner.
And now?
No, I'm afraid I haven't had time since I got married.
Well, thank you again for coming to see us. But just remember that we like people who join the company to play in the company's sports teams.
Certainly, sir.
I was surprised to see how few people you have on site. You provide a wide range of goods and services but have a very small workforce.
It depends on the time of year. At peak times we hire in casual workers to help with packing and dispatch. We also contract out certain services all year round, for example, cleaning. We run a very tight operation.
Do you handle the recruiting yourselves?
Sometimes we use a local employment agency. It depends on the job.
Our supervisor Lester does. Actually, Lester is kind of like the kitchen god.
The kitchen god? What does he do?
He just stays in the kitchen and watches you. Before the Chinese New Year, the kitchen god tells his boss whether you were good or bad this year. Just like Lester does.
Oh, no. I did a lot of bad things this year. I hope the kitchen god isn't like Lester. He blabs my mistakes to everybody.
Actually, there's a way to keep the kitchen god from telling the bad things you did.
What is it? Tell me. Will it work for Lester, too?
I think so. Just serve a lot of sweet dishes next week. That will make the kitchen god say sweet things about you.
Are you sure that will work? I already tried giving chocolate to Lester.
And what happened?
His face broke out and he said it was my fault.
Hello, is that John?
Yes. What can I do for you?
I am calling to tell you some issues about the interview.
The volume is too loud. Would you kindly turn it down a little bit?
Yes, I think it is now a moderate volume. Jack, I don't know how to write my resume. Could you tell me about that?
You should first write your name and contact information.
What does the contact information include?
Such as your landline phone number, mobile phone number and email box.
Anything else?
Then you should write your objectives, such as seeking a position in foreign trade.
I see. It is the position desired.
Yes. After that, you should emphasize your skills, educational background, and related experience.
I see. Skills are about specialty, and educational background is easy as well. But what about related experience? I have little work experience.
Don't worry. It will take time to accumulate experience. You need to be confident for yourself.
I see. By the way, should I write the educational background starting from elementary school?
Generally from the college.
Thank you very much. I will write it right now. I've known from your resume that you are a college graduate.
Yes, madam. I graduated from Tianjin College of Finance and Trade 3 years ago.
What did you take as your major in college?
I took accounting as my major.
What kinds of work were you in charge of in the previous company?
I was in charge of cost price and sales revenue.
All right, I see. Why do you want to work for a Sino-American joint venture enterprise now?
There are 2 reasons for me to do it. First, I'm sure that there will be more opportunities for advancement if I enter your enterprise. Secondly, I'd like to acquaint myself with American culture if possible.
Well, Mr. Zhang, you must know, what we need is a capable accountant, and we won't have enough time to tell him some other things.
Yes, madam, I know that I'll be expected, first of all, to work hard if I'm hired.
Mrs. Reynolds? This is Martin Gross calling.
Hi, Martin. What can I do for you?
Well, I've got the spreadsheets you asked for, but I'm still waiting on some data from accounting.
That's all right. Bring me over what you've got. Hello, Mr. Hao. I am calling to tell you that you are not selected as our employee. Sorry.
Although I am a little shocked, I can deal with it pretty well. I didn't perform as well as I should have in the interview.
Maybe. But you should not withdraw forever just because you failed once.
Okay, thank you. I'll try if there were other chances. So awful. I never fancy my salary as so little.
Oh, don't be so sad. You can ask for a salary raise.
Bingo. I never thought about that before. I am working so hard and my accomplishment is significant, you know.
So you suppose you deserve a salary raise?
I know I deserve it, but I cannot find a way to talk with boss about this.
You ought to point out how valuable you are, and tell her those people who have the same situation also get the salary raise.
That sounds reasonable.
Remember, it is the boss who hires you, and tell her how much you have improved the office efficiency.
That's a point. It seems a little complicated. I will think about this for a while. I owe you one. After all, you give me an inspiration.
Forget it. Good luck. I hope you can make it.
Tristan, could you stay a few extra minutes to discuss your project with me?
Sure. We're on a pretty tight schedule, but we should be able to finish it just on time.
Are all of your team members on schedule?
A few of the graphic designers are a bit behind in their work because of computer problems.
How have they decided to deal with that?
They've agreed to work overtime until it's finished. They've even decided to come in on the weekend.
That's true dedication. I'm impressed. When is it due?
We agreed that the deadline was next Friday.
Right. Well, given that your colleagues are working so hard on this project, I suppose we could change that deadline to Monday morning. I won't have time to look over it on the weekend anyway.
That'd be very helpful. An extra weekend is all they really need. Thanks.
That's all right. Make sure everyone knows that we must stick to the new deadline.
I will.
I know you have a tight schedule, so I won't take up more of your time. Have a good evening.
You, too. See you tomorrow.
Susan, we're having a farewell party for John Anderson today.
What time? I'd like to go, but my calendar is really full today.
We're starting at 12 o'clock and it'll go on for the rest of the afternoon.
I'll try to make it. I should be able to fit some time in around 3 o'clock.
Following our free educational materials, you learn English in a great way with ease and efficiency.